What happens when you are a quintessential homebody? You go away for 5 days, 6 days, and then you dread coming home. That's not like me at all. But I went away for only 6 days. It's not a long time. Last week, and I didn't actually know if I was going to get away at all this summer. I went to my favourite place on Tebe, and I knew before I went that I would dread coming home. There's something up with that. Cherry, I live in a cottage in the English countryside. I'm raising teens and I'm running 4 businesses. And I love this YouTube channel because it means I get to show you behind the scenes on everything, life at the cottage, and we just get to have a little chat about things. I'm going to go and get my secateurs. Oh no, where are they? I've lost them. I'm going to try and do them with this. So many dahlias to pick. This huge one here, it is so large. The dahlias did brilliantly while I was away. I think they were watered twice, maximum. Oh, that one's kind of gone. Look at this, isn't it gorgeous? It's sort of gone over, but I love it. Oh gosh, yeah, look, it's exploded. But this is so beautiful. And there's a lovely, lovely breeze this evening. It's quite nice just having the place to myself. The children have been off for weeks and weeks because it's their GCSE summer. And I must admit, when they go back to school to do A-levels, the house is going to be so quiet and I'm going to absolutely hate it. But they're away for a couple of evenings and it's very, very quiet and serene and just lovely. It's quite nice just to have the time to think, I guess, and then I'll miss them again. But look at this. If you need a reason to grow dahlias, here it is. This is from one plant, one tuber actually. Gosh, look at all of these, fabulous. So this is what I think's going on with me just dreading coming home, having only been away for 5 days. It's silly, and knowing that I was going to feel this way. I wasn't living intentionally. I know that that word intentional and living intentionally is bandied around so much, and the whole term has been lost on me for a long time. I haven't truly understood it. I haven't taken any time to understand it because I was too busy in living unintentionally. But I think my dreading coming home was based off the fact that I am not living intentionally. Life is getting away with me and I am becoming more and more sort of burnt out. And if we're using something like the Pareto principle, I am focusing 80% of my energy and attention on things that are really only 20% valuable. I think it can be so easy to get caught up in patterns and to never really know what you're doing. It's almost like you go on to autopilot, and I think that's what I've done. And I think going away and having that time to stop is a really, really good way of, it's almost like a litmus test. You find out really what's working, what isn't, just based on how you feel when you have to come back to it. And this weekend, I didn't feel good about coming back, and that's not like me. I'm going to get this big one down here. Oh no, look, let's get some of these instead. But I think that knowing yourself and having just the courage really just to say to yourself, there's a reason I don't want to go home and I'm going to find out what it is because this isn't like me, is incredibly valuable. For me, clearly, it was something as simple as pacing. You know, it's how my days are paced. And that's something that is so solvable, and yet there I was on holiday dreading coming home. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I don't want to be robbed of time off in that way. So I am definitely looking at pacing for the last 4 months of the year because they are, you know, without doubt my busiest in retail and in hospitality, which is, you know, 2 of my main businesses. And of course, things like content creation, which is something I do to tell people about, you know, all that I'm doing, as well as just, I use it as a creative outlet. Content creation at this time of year ramps up. And so it should. It's a wonderful time, and I love the cottage as we head into the the final few months of the year, and I love showing people, you know, how I've decorated it and things like that. It's a big part of all of that. And I just think, oh, I'm just so relieved. I'm so relieved that I know what it is and that I can talk to my team and I can sit down with a pen and paper, because that's all I do, and make different plans. Instead of plans that I get carried away with, I can make different plans. That's the most wonderful thing about working for oneself. You are in charge. I've said 1,000,001 times that I'm unemployable. It's best that I'm in charge. I've never grown this one before, but look at that beauty. Isn't that insane? Apricot, and gosh, there's some crimson in there. Oh, it's just magnificent. So here is my harvest, my dahlia harvest since being away. So I think this is a week's worth. This is your sign to grow dahlias, and I'll have these until first frosts. I know I go on and on about them, but I've got some straw flowers in there. Look, there's some there, but oh my goodness, look at these, aren't they amazing? It's the next morning and I cut all of my dahlias last night and I've got them in vases, so I want to show you what I'm going to do with them. And also further explain the chat that we were having last night, just in case it's helpful to you, in case you've been feeling the same thing. Because I think sometimes when you think you're a certain type of person and you know that you love certain things, when you suddenly feel really differently to that, I feel in my own life it can be incredibly discombobulating. It can throw you. But I've given this a lot of thought and traced it back to some feelings and thoughts and discussions that I was having at the start of this year. And it all now makes such sense in the bigger picture, and that's what I want to share with you. Okay, so here's my collection of dahlias from last night. It was getting really dark last night when I was cutting them, and it took ages to put them in all the vases. So I've got to be honest with you, they're not displayed or arranged brilliantly, it has to be said. I mean, some of them, in this poor chap here, they're sort of falling out. So I will give them a few tweaks, but I just wanted to get them in water, to be honest. And I'm loving the colours. It's not until you cut them and bring them in that you truly see how each variety works. So this one on my writing bureau is called Dahlia Maxime. It's just a vibrant sort of reddish orange explosion and is absolutely delicious. Okay, so I've got another vase here. It's not exactly a pom-pom dahlia. Let me find out which one this is, but this is lovely, and it's in my new vase from my sister, and she bought me this from Arundel Antiques Market. My birthday's in August, so I got that just recently. This is a close-up of the vase and the dahlias in it. I love these long, sort of slender vases, and this variety, let me give you a close-up. Isn't it gorgeous? It's sort of a pink with yellow. It's like rhubarb and custard. This variety is called Dusty Beauty, and they can sit there quite the thing for a few days. I need to get, this had some taller flowers in it, and so I need to give this a rinse out. These can come away as well. I'm just having a potter, I think. It's quite nice. But I think one of the conclusions that I came to, or one of the realizations that I had about this, just sort of this deep feeling of, you know, not wanting to come home and really wanting to change the way I do things at home, because obviously that's the reason I didn't want to come home. I traced it back to the start of this year, and I remember just having several conversations with people and just saying to them, I don't know who I am at the minute. I don't know where I fit in. Not with friends or anything like that, but where I fit in, how my life is going, what I want to do with it, how I want to progress as a person and grow as a person, what's next for me and my evolution. And I think that this is where a lot of us as midlife women, I think this is where we panic, because we have always usually been really quite definite people. And I think the menopause or perimenopause or children getting older or relationships ending, jobs ending, that kind of thing, or having a change or moving, any season of intense flux or change can just bring about an absolute identity crisis. And I think that that is what I had at the start of the year. I've always believed that we're part of the universe, and the universe is constantly expanding. So it makes sense to me, if we are part of that as humans, we're constantly expanding. Certainly the great thinkers of our times would agree with that. It's how we've made progress as human beings throughout the centuries. But that sort of constant expansion doesn't take into account fear. And of course, we've got this sense of constant growth, which is, natural as part of the universe. But then we've got that reptilian brain, which is only wanting to keep us safe. And that's when the fear kicks in. And you've got these two sort of battles taking place that are totally, totally natural and totally, totally part of who we are. And it's our job to keep both of those in check. And I think that that is easier said than done. I put this in here. It shouldn't be in here at all. It's a little picture and bowl. I think that needs to go in my bedroom. But what I do believe deeply, deeply is when we are not growing and when we are in a place of fear, and our life or our mind or, part of us is not allowed to expand for whatever reason. It's my belief that that's when we get incredibly stressed, incredibly tense, incredibly anxious. And we can, if it goes on for any length of time, I think it can cause not only deep unhappiness, but I think we can just get really ill with it. Tummy aches, headaches, tense shoulders, frustration, anxiety, sadness, depression. If you think about the word depression, it's something being depressed, pressed down. And if we're not growing or expanding in a way that's really healthy and that's good for us and our lives and our personalities, if we're being pressed down, that can make us incredibly sad and confused. I think I was just really lost at the start of the year for various reasons. I know the reasons why, but it can be confusing at times. And I think that all led up to, and being too busy, led up to me not wanting to come home from holiday to a place that I love so much. And on the busyness thing, I think that sometimes being busy is an act of resistance. So we busy ourselves with the things that we can do to make it look like we're busy, because we're quite fearful of doing the things we know will take us to the place that, we may have dreamt of going. But that, it might be that we know that our growth might cause terrible friction with family members or friends or colleagues or something like that, or we might be criticised, we might fail publicly. And so we keep ourselves busy with the things that, from the outside, it looks like we've got such a lot on, but it's not actually moving the needle in any way. It's not actually helping us to truly progress. So I have to check myself on that level of resistance all the time, because resistance is the cleverest thing. It is the cleverest thing. Our brains are so clever. Got back from this little break, I chatted with Christina. If you have any contact with any part of what we do here, certainly in Homebody, you will have met Christina. And we were just talking about only focusing on the 20% that moves the needle in what we want to do. And it's just the Pareto's principle. So that works on the basis of 20% of your output. It determines 80% of your progress. And it's interesting because so often we just focus on the 80% and just think we're really busy, but it doesn't do anything, it doesn't really help, it doesn't move anything forward. So we are identifying and only focusing on the absolute 20% of what it is that we need to do in order to get, you know, the business or the deli or homebody or the membership and the app to where it needs to be. And it's a wonderful thing to identify the 20% because in actual fact, it focuses your mind in a laser sort of sharp way and it just compounds. And it's like, it can be like a juggernaut. I know this because I've done it before. So you need to trust me on this. Focus in on the 20% that may be the scariest, but I can almost guarantee it will be the thing that takes you forward the fastest and gives you the most impact. I also, however, think that it's important to sort of recognise and talk about how it feels in the months, weeks, months, sometimes years, although I hope it isn't that long for anyone. In that sort of no man's land space of not knowing where you belong, not knowing what you should do next, and, you know, thinking, well, I am meant for more, or I just feel totally disempowered and powerless to do anything and stuck. I mean, it's just the most horrid feeling. I think that there's a difference between allowing yourself time to be and consider and, you know, not to panic and make some crazy knee-jerk response to life, and when you get into a state of just absolute paralysis. In this instance, I'm not talking about those sort of paralysed situations. I'm referring much more to just a sense of not knowing where you are, feeling quite stuck and lost. And I think it was important for me to, at that time, although it felt deeply, deeply uncomfortable, I think it was an important thing to go through. Because I don't like it, I feel very, very uncomfortable being in a situation where nothing is moving. And I don't know the answer. I don't cope with an open loop. But sometimes life will give you that. In fact, most of the time life gives you those. Life just doesn't have all the answers when we want them. What it is that you need, what the next step is, what is best for you and your personality or your nervous system or your family situation or your financial situation, depending on where you want to go and what you want to do and who you want to become. So there's this almost like a sense of, okay, I want to be this person and I want to do this and this is my dream. I don't know how to get there just yet, so I'm just going to stop for a moment and I'm just going to rest in the uncomfortable feeling and see what happens for a bit. But it's being able to sit with it and start to very gently make a plan, not out of panic or fear, but out of a sense of knowing. And if you are in a similar situation, what I think so many midlife women are, I want you to know that you're not alone in any of it. I want you to know that it's okay and that you're not broken and that there's nothing wrong with you and that there is a way out and that it is a wonderful, wonderful time. I don't know about you, but I certainly feel absolutely no different at any time than I have, during the rest of my life. It's just bonkers. I don't even feel that much more mature, to be honest. My children will testify to that, that's for sure. But I just wanted to reassure you. I want to reassure you that it's okay and that we've got this. We do have a level of life experience that is truly, truly wonderful. And take that into your next chapter. Don't let anyone ever reduce or diminish that in your life, because that is taking everything away from you. Rest in your experience, rest in your knowledge, rest in your wisdom. Celebrate it in yourself, even if you have to do it privately, because that will grow and it will flourish within you. And that is where it's important that it rests and that it is activated from, not externally. I don't want to feel like this has been another lecture and I'm just sort of pottering about. I've got a funeral tomorrow that I'm going to, and so I'm going to finish today's vlog here. But I think that when people pass away, it obviously gives us such clarity and such perspective. And that's the essence of what I'm saying right now. Just find out where you want to be and what you want to do. Believe it, trust it, and don't panic if you don't have the roadmap laid out in front of you just yet, because I promise you it's on its way. I'm sending lots of love, and I will see you next Wednesday, because I'm now publishing my vlogs on a Wednesday. I needed to reclaim my weekends. It was a bit much, so this is much, much better. See, I'm getting there. I'm sending you lots of love.